Have you ever stepped into someone's home, maybe a neighbor's, or even one of your grown children's, and the very moment the door opened, you felt a soft wave of ease wash over you? The air seemed fresh, the light somehow brighter, and your heart let out a quiet little ah. Not because the house was fancy, not because it was brand new, but simply because it carried that feeling of cleanliness and peace. And then, when you return to your own home, have you ever wondered, why doesn't mine feel that way, even though it looks tidy? The truth is, it's not that you haven't cleaned enough. It's not that you're missing expensive products. The secret lies in the little things, those small, quiet habits that are so easy to overlook, yet they make all the difference. Just a few minutes, just a few gentle actions can transform your house from fine into fresh, spotless, and truly inviting. In today's video, we'll walk through 10 of those habits together. Simple practices that anyone, whether you're in your 60s, 70s, or beyond, can do without strain, without back pain, and without stress. And each one will help your home feel lighter, calmer, and more soothing to your heart and spirit. Be sure to stay until the end, because the final habit, though it may seem the simplest, carries the greatest power to heal and renew. And if you enjoy these gentle, practical tips for life after 60, don't forget to subscribe to Senior Rise, so we can keep walking this journey together, week after week. Habit 1. The door sets the first impression. Imagine this. You're about to step into a friend's home. Before you see the living room, before your eyes land on the sofa or the rug, what's the very first thing you notice? The door. A front door is like a handshake. It's the very first greeting a home offers. Yet for many of us who have lived in our own houses for years, the door is often the thing we forget. A little scratch near the bottom, fingerprints around the lock, maybe a smudge we stopped noticing long ago. We pass it dozens of times a day, and eventually our eyes stop seeing it. But guests do notice. Their eyes pick it up instantly. And even if no one says a word, you can feel it too. Your home doesn't feel truly clean if the door leaves behind a messy impression. There's an old saying, when the doorway is clean, the heart feels lighter. It's true. A polished, tidy door doesn't just welcome visitors. It welcomes you every time you come home after a long day. The habit is simple. Once a week, take a soft cloth, warm water with a bit of soap or diluted vinegar, and gently wipe the doorknob, the edges, and the threshold where dust loves to settle. No scrubbing required. Just a little care is enough. And don't stop at the front door. Wipe the fridge door, the microwave handle, the oven knob, those everyday touch points we forget. Have you ever cleaned just one doorknob, and suddenly the whole room felt different? That's because our eyes and hearts notice contrasts. Clean versus dirty, bright versus dull. One small detail can lift an entire space. So begin your journey to a fresher home with the door. When the door shines, it feels like your whole house is smiling back at you. Habit 2. Light and the feeling of a room. Here's something many overlook. A room can be tidy, but if the light is dim or the curtains remain closed, the space feels heavy and gloomy. On the other hand, when sunlight pours in, the whole house seems to awaken. Suddenly, it looks cleaner, brighter, more alive. Light isn't just for seeing. For older adults, light is a feeling. A bright room offers safety, reduces the risk of falls, and warms the heart. Do you remember the last time you opened your bedroom curtains wide, letting the morning sun flood in and instantly felt your spirit lift? An elderly woman in Florida once said, "I don't clean that much, But every morning, I open my window and switch on a small lamp in the corner, and suddenly I feel like I'm living in a new place. That tiny habit gave her a sense of freshness each day instead of the dull weight of a dark room. This habit is simple. Let light be your companion. Wipe your window frames weekly, open the curtains at least once a day, and don't be afraid to switch on a warm lamp in the afternoon. When light reflects off clean walls and tidy surfaces, your home appears not just brighter, but cleaner too, in both the eyes and the heart. Have you noticed that sometimes it isn't dust that weighs you down, but the gloom itself, and how just a shaft of sunlight can sweep that heaviness away? Give your home the light it deserves, so when you walk in, you don't just see more clearly, you feel your heart illuminated too. Habit 3. Let fresh air flow in. Here's a little secret many older adults have discovered. A home can sparkle, but if the air inside feels stale, it will never feel truly fresh. Cooking odors caught in curtains, dampness clinging to rugs, the faint mustiness of forgotten corners, together, they create a heaviness we may no longer notice, but guests certainly do. I remember 2 women in their 70s who lived side by side. One's home always carried a faint smell of old food. Not terrible, but heavy. The other's home felt like a breath of spring air every time you stepped in. Her secret? Nothing fancy. Once a week, no matter the weather, she opened every window in her house for 10 minutes. "I'm not opening it to let air in," she said with a smile. "I'm opening it to release the house." And that's the truth. Homes, like people, need to breathe. Just a few minutes of airflow pushes out the old and pulls in the new. The curtains sway, the walls seem lighter, and the whole place feels like it's been reset. This habit costs nothing, and it doesn't strain the body. Once a week, throw open the windows, maybe turn on a fan to help the air move. You'll notice the difference immediately. The heaviness lifts, the air clears, and your spirit feels fresher too. When the old air is released, the home feels lighter. But have you ever thought that what lingers afterward is the home's personal scent? Share in the comments what smell instantly reminds you of your home. Habit 4. A personal scent. The home's signature. Here's something people rarely talk about. Every home carries a signature scent. The people who live there get so used to it they don't notice anymore. But guests pick it up the moment they walk in. It might be the smell of morning coffee, aged wood, or cooking aromas absorbed into the curtains over the years. That scent quietly shapes the first impression of your home. Have you ever visited a friend, and then days later caught a whiff of cinnamon or orange peel somewhere and instantly thought of their house? Scents hold that kind of power. They tie themselves to memory, to warmth, to belonging. A truly fresh home isn't just clean. It has a gentle, welcoming fragrance. Not the heavy cover-up of candles or sprays, but a natural softness that says, "You are welcome here." For some, it's a sprig of dried lavender in the corner. For others, simmering a pot of water with lemon slices, cinnamon sticks, and ginger for 10 minutes, so the aroma drifts through the rooms. Sometimes, it's as simple as a warm cup of herbal tea left on the table, filling the air with its calming scent. Seniors around the world practice this. One grandmother in Oregon said, "I want my grandchildren, when they walk into my home, to always remember the smell of dried orange peel, just like the childhood they once knew." That fragrance didn't just make the room feel fresher, it turned her home into a keeper of memories. So think about this. If your home had a signature scent, what would it be? Chamomile tea? Pine from an old cabinet? Or the gentle, sun-warmed scent of freshly laundered blankets. A home with its own fragrance will never be mistaken for anywhere else. It becomes uniquely yours, warm to guests and comforting to you, the one who lives within it. Habit 5. Caring for soft fabrics. Close your eyes for a moment and picture yourself walking into your own living room. The familiar sofa, the cushion you've held onto for years, the curtains that have shaded your windows through many seasons. These pieces carry memories, but did you know they're also giant sponges for smells? Soft fabrics, curtains, rugs, cushions, blankets absorb everything. Last night's dinner, dampness from a rainy day, even the faint traces of pets. They quietly hold on to these odors, and no matter how spotless a room looks, it can still feel heavy. The surprising part? We get so used to our own home's scent that we no longer notice it, but others do, the moment they step inside. An older couple in Florida once complained, "We clean all the time, but our guests still say the house smells odd." Then they tried one small habit, refreshing their soft fabrics weekly, and the problem disappeared. They didn't have to wash everything. Just a few steps. Shake out the cushions on the balcony, hang a blanket in the sun, spritz a gentle fabric-safe deodorizer, or wash one small item like a bathroom rug or pillow cover. The result? Their home felt lighter, fresher, and welcoming again. It's not about perfection. It's about freshness. Just a few minutes spent refreshing fabric surfaces can make the room feel like it's taken a deep, clean breath. You'll feel more comfortable, sleep better, and visitors will notice the difference too. Have you ever hugged a pillow that's been warmed by the sun and felt as if the whole sky was spilling into your chest? That's the gift soft fabrics give when they're cared for. So show your cushions, blankets, curtains, and rugs a little love each week. They'll give back a home that smells fresh, feels clean, and brings you moments of peace in your heart. Habit 6. Reset one drawer a week. Every home has that secret drawer, the one you open, glance at, and quickly shut again, muttering, "I'll deal with that another day." Inside, you might find old batteries, dried-up pens, faded receipts, a sticky candy, or random things no one remembers buying. Seniors often think, "The whole house is overwhelming. What difference does one drawer make?" But that little drawer plants a seed of chaos, because when one corner feels forgotten, our minds start to believe the whole house is slipping out of control, even if it isn't. A man named Harold in his 70s once shared, "I started by cleaning just one kitchen drawer. It took less than 10 minutes, but afterward, I felt like a weight had been lifted from my chest. Suddenly, the whole kitchen looked brighter." He hadn't transformed the entire house, but the relief from one small corner spread to everything around it. That's the quiet power of a one-drawer reset each week. No pressure to make it perfect. No Pinterest-worthy displays. Just toss what you don't need. Wipe the bottom, group similar items, and close it with a simple sense of order. That just enough order gives you back the feeling of control, that your home is still yours, not chaos. Have you ever felt that moment when one tidy corner makes your heart feel 10 pounds lighter? If not, try it this week. Open just one drawer and let that drawer reset your spirit too. Habit 7. The 5-minute shine on high-touch spots. Have you ever looked around your kitchen and thought, "I just cleaned, so why doesn't it feel clean?" The counters are wiped, the floor is crumb-free, the dishes are washed, and yet something feels off. The answer lies in the high-touch spots, the places your hands reach every day but your eyes often ignore. The refrigerator handle, the microwave buttons, the edge of the dishwasher, the light switches, the cabinet doors under the sink. All of them quietly collect smudges, grease, fingerprints. Not enough to look filthy, but enough to cast a dull, tired feeling over the whole room. One gentleman in his 70s tried this habit. Once a week, he spent exactly 5 minutes with a damp cloth, wiping only those touch points. The next day he laughed and said, "I can't believe just cleaning the fridge handle and trash can lid made my kitchen feel like a hotel." That's the trick of the eye. When small details sparkle, the brain reads the whole room as cleaner, fresher, more inviting. Just 5 minutes, but the feeling lasts all week. Try it today. Take a cloth, wring it out, wipe the handles, switches, and door edges. Then step back. You'll see the room differently, as if it's smiling at you. Have you ever experienced that moment when polishing one doorknob made the entire room feel brighter? If not, give it a try this week and come back to share in the comments how it felt for you. Habit 8. Cleaning the cleaners. Here's a paradox most people forget. We rely on brooms, mops, vacuums, and sponges to clean, but forget that they themselves need cleaning too. And when they're dirty, instead of spreading freshness, they spread odors and even germs. Think of a vacuum. Every run pulls in dust, hair, dander, tiny particles. If the bin isn't emptied, the filter washed, the brush head cleared, then each use just stirs the dirt and releases it back into the air. Or a mop. Leave the head damp for days and it grows sour, spreading that smell across the floor. A sponge left too long becomes a breeding ground for bacteria, leaving dishes with a faint odor. Washers and dishwashers are no different. Without cleaning, they build up mold, leaving clothes and plates not quite fresh. One older man in Texas admitted, "I thought my home was spotless, but it still smelled odd. Then I realized it was my old mop head." Once he replaced it and refreshed his sponges, everything changed. That's why once a month, set aside 20 minutes for a cleaner reset. Wash the mop head, empty and wipe the vacuum. Rinse the filters, run a vinegar cycle through the washer, scrub the dishwasher filter. It doesn't take much energy, but it transforms how fresh your home feels. How long has it been since you washed your mop head or checked your vacuum filter? Try it this week and notice the difference. Habit 9. The splash zone in the bathroom. There's one small room in every home that most people hesitate to talk about, yet it often determines whether the whole house feels truly clean. The bathroom. More specifically, the area around the toilet. We tend to think, as long as the bowl is scrubbed, the floor wiped, and a little air freshener sprayed, the job is done. But here's an unpleasant truth. Every time the toilet flushes, tiny droplets can escape. They land on the walls, the base of the toilet, even in the small crevices around the bolts. Those tiny specks are the hidden culprits behind odors that no spray or candle can fully mask. I once met a retired veteran who lived alone. For years, his bathroom carried a faint, sour smell. He tried everything: candles, sprays, even bags of charcoal, but nothing worked. Then one day, he stumbled upon a simple tip: wipe the area around the toilet, including the floor, the walls behind it, and the base. It took less than 3 minutes, and to his surprise, the smell was gone completely. That's why many call this the splash zone. And the habit to keep your bathroom truly fresh is simpler than you might think. Once a week, take a damp cloth or a bit of diluted vinegar and wipe the floor in front of the toilet, the sides, the wall behind it, the seat, the handle, even the lid. Just a few minutes, and your bathroom will feel brighter, drier, and so much fresher. Have you ever wondered why your bathroom still carries a strange smell even after cleaning? The answer may be hiding in this very splash zone. Try it once, and you may find yourself smiling the next time you step inside. Habit 10. Pretend a guest is coming. The guest illusion. There's a little trick many older adults use to keep their homes feeling fresh, and it has nothing to do with a mop or cleaning spray. It's the simple act of imagining that a special guest is coming tomorrow. Not someone you need to impress with perfection, but a person you truly want to welcome. Maybe an old friend you haven't seen in years, a grandchild you love dearly, or even a kind neighbor who's always looked out for you. Just imagining it can change the way you see your home. Because when we live in the same space day after day, our eyes grow numb. We stop noticing the pile of mail on the counter, the fine layer of dust along the baseboards, or the welcome mat that's gone flat. But when you picture someone visiting tomorrow, suddenly your eyes wake up. You fluff the pillows, switch out a hand towel, crack a window for fresh air, and the whole home feels alive again. An elderly teacher in Ohio once shared, "Every Friday morning, I imagine my granddaughter will drop by in the afternoon. I put a little vase of flowers on the table, fold the blanket neatly, and tidy the hallway. She never actually comes, but I feel like my home is vibrant and lovely all the same." And here's the beautiful part. The most important guest isn't anyone else. It's you. Your home doesn't need to shine just for others. It deserves to shine for you, too. When you prepare your space with the care you'd give to someone you love, you're really giving that care to yourself. Have you ever looked at your home through the eyes of a guest? If not, try it this week. Sometimes, just a little imagination is enough to turn a familiar space into something fresh, warm, and full of life again. We've just walked together through 10 little habits, simple on the surface, yet powerful enough to completely transform how your home feels. From wiping down the front door, letting light pour in, releasing old air, to refreshing soft fabrics, resetting a single drawer, or even imagining a guest arriving tomorrow. None of these require much energy or expensive products, yet each one can make a big difference. The most important thing isn't to try to do all 10 habits in a single day. No one needs perfection, especially as the years remind us to save our strength. What matters is choosing just one, only one, and starting there. When you polish a doorknob, when you crack open a window to welcome a fresh breeze, when you hang a blanket in the sun, you're sending your home a message. I care for you. And in its own quiet way, your home responds, offering back peace, lightness, and comfort to your heart. A home is more than shelter. It is a mirror reflecting your spirit. When it's clean and fresh, you'll find yourself with more energy, a clearer mind, and even gentler mornings when you wake. That's why so many people say, when you care for your home, you are also caring for your soul. Have you ever stepped into your own home and breathed out a soft, relieved ah? If not, start with just one small habit this week. Open the window, clear a drawer, wipe a handle, and notice how not only the air shifts, but your mood does too. If you've stayed with me until the very end, I want to thank you. It means you still care about your space and about your life. You deserve a home that is not only clean, but filled with peace and love. So let me ask, out of these 10 habits, which one will you begin with first? Share your answer in the comments, because your story might just inspire someone else to begin as well. And if this video has been helpful, don't forget to like it, share it, so other older adults can also discover these gentle tips. and subscribe to Senior Rise so that each week we can sit together again, sharing simple ways to make life more whole. Because in the end, happiness isn't far away. It's right here, in the way you step into your own home, take a deep breath, and feel your heart softly smile.